In New Jersey, a growing mystery has taken the skies hostage as unidentified drones continue to circle neighborhoods, leaving citizens both baffled and uneasy. Local leaders, including mayors, are demanding answers, but the federal government remains tight-lipped. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas promised additional resources to assist state police, yet even a rare high-level meeting of all state mayors offered almost no real information. What little was shared only fueled speculation. With vague assurances that there's no critical threat, residents are left to draw their own conclusions, ranging from benign surveillance to the unimaginable. Meanwhile, the government's insistence on not shooting these drones down has raised more questions than it has answered. If these truly are government assets, what exactly are they doing above our homes? And if they're not, who dares challenge the United States airspace so brazenly? Isn't transparency the foundation of trust what we deserve? The lack of transparency has stirred a storm of unease, leaving people to wonder if their government is hiding something big. In the absence of clear answers, the public has been left to speculate wildly, and theories abound. Some believe the drones are tied to secret military operations, while others imagine foreign espionage or even corporate experiments. This silence has not calmed fears. Instead, it has given rise to frustration and anger. After all, isn't the role of a democratic government to provide clarity, not to leave its citizens in the dark? Why are we being told to stay calm, yet local authorities are issuing instructions involving hazmat suits and bomb squads? Such contradictions only deepen the suspicion. What happens when trust in those meant to protect us begins to waver? Are these silences the cracks in the foundation of a transparent society? Speculation is spreading like wildfire, with some arguing that these drones could be sniffing out radioactive materials or even testing experimental surveillance technologies. Others suspect they are part of an elaborate setup, preparing the ground for stricter government control under the guise of public safety. Adding to the confusion, experts have noted that the drone's FAA-compliant lights and flight patterns suggest domestic origins rather than foreign threats. Yet if this is true, why the veil of secrecy? Shouldn't Americans have the right to know what's hovering above their rooftops? Or is this one of those situations where what you don't know won't hurt you? These drones raise an unsettling question. Is the government protecting us or protecting itself from us? And how far can we trust a system that chooses silence over answers? For many, the federal government's inconsistent messaging has only deepened mistrust. On one hand, officials claim the drones pose no threat. On the other, local authorities are directed to treat them with the utmost caution, deploying bomb squads and hazmat teams. This paradox feels like a scene from a thriller. Nothing to worry about, yet neighborhoods are on high alert. Are we dealing with a case of bureaucratic incompetence? Or is the government keeping secrets it believes the public isn't ready to handle? If the drones are harmless, why the extreme measures? And if they aren't, why are we being told the full story? Transparency isn't just a luxury in situations like this. It's a necessity for maintaining trust in those who lead us. As confusion spreads, humor and sarcasm have become the public's way of coping. Social media is buzzing with absurd theories, from alien vampire drones to secret Elon Musk experiments. While these jokes provide comic relief, they highlight a deeper issue. People turn to satire when they feel powerless or unheard. In America, where the right to question authority is almost sacred, this situation feels like a direct challenge to the public's sense of control. Is it any wonder that people are joking about building nets or shooting them down with AA batteries? Humor aside, these reactions underline a serious truth. When citizens lose faith in their leaders, they start looking for answers themselves, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. For some, the mysterious drones are a sign of a much larger geopolitical game. With rising global tensions, the idea that foreign adversaries could be testing U.S. defenses or gathering intelligence doesn't seem far-fetched. Yet, the federal government's subdued response, no fighter jets, no visible countermeasures, raises questions. Could this really be foreign espionage? Or is it something closer to home? Perhaps these drones are a demonstration of advanced military technology meant to send a message to rivals while keeping the public guessing. Either way, the lack of action leaves people asking, if these drones were spotted over hostile airspace abroad, would the response be just as restrained? Or does the inaction signal that someone already knows exactly who or what is behind them? Meanwhile, others suggest that these drones might be linked to Homeland Security efforts, possibly scanning for hazardous materials or lost nuclear assets. The idea that they could be searching for radioactive substances has sent a chill through many communities. What are these drones sniffing for, and why is there no official acknowledgement? If such a search is underway, it raises even more questions about the safety of the very neighborhoods they are flying over. Shouldn't citizens be informed if there's even a remote possibility of danger? Or is this another instance of keeping the public in the dark to avoid mass panic? While silence may be strategic, it's hard to shake the feeling that transparency would provide a greater sense of security than secrecy ever could. Adding fuel to the fire, some argue that the drone sightings are nothing more than an elaborate psychological test. Could these unexplained appearances be designed to measure public reaction to uncertainty and fear? Such theories point to a larger pattern. When confusion reigns, it becomes easier to introduce stricter regulations or sweeping policy changes. Could this drone hysteria be paving the way for new surveillance laws or expanded government powers? If so, what price are we paying for security, and is it worth the cost? In a nation built on freedom, the balance between safety and liberty is delicate. How much control are we willing to give up to address an issue we barely understand? For many Americans, these drones represent more than just a technological mystery. They symbolize the growing divide between the government and the people. When officials fail to provide clear answers, it fosters an us versus them mentality that erodes trust. Why should communities feel like outsiders when it comes to their own safety? This is not just about drones. It's about accountability, transparency, and the fundamental right to be informed. Americans pride themselves on resilience and self-reliance, but even the strongest foundation can crack under the weight of uncertainty. If our leaders can't provide clarity, how can they expect trust? Isn't it time for the government to stop flying in circles and start delivering real answers?